Episode 20, The Harvest and the Vow. The penthouse office was a haven of shadow and light. Apex Core's neon rhythm beyond the window, a stark contrast to the weight of Gideon Varn's words. Kane Voss sat now, his lean frame sinking into a leather armchair, gripping the arms like anchors against a tail threatening to unmoor him. Sadie Hall perched beside him, dark eyes blazing with questions, her knife now openly on her thigh. Dr. Aldus Wellington leaned forward, white hair wild, his gaze locked on Gideon, a scholar chasing truth through a storm. Gideon stood by the desk, midnight blue suit a sharp silhouette, eyes distant, lost in a memory 26,000 years old. The scotch in his glass sat untouched, the air thick with old wood and secrets too vast for one room. Gideon's voice resumed, low and steady, a river carving stone. When the Draconians came, it wasn't war, Kane. It was annihilation. Their ships didn't scream. They appeared black as void, blotting stars like a hand over flame. We'd prepared. Sentries on the moon, relays in cities, the Ark half-built, pulsing with promise. But they didn't fight like men. Their minds reached, a shadow in your skull, bending will to theirs. I saw it from the Sentinel, lunar screens alive with horror. Atlantis burned without fire. Our people, scholars, warriors, children, froze, eyes blank, marching to their ships like ants to sugar. Millions fed on, not just flesh, but spirit. Their spark drained to fuel God's know what. Kane's throat tightened, his voice rough, fighting to ground himself. You just watched? No fight? Sadie's hand brushed his arm, a quiet anchor, her voice soft but sharp. He's not that cold, Kane. Let him finish. Gideon's gaze snapped to Kane, sharp as a blade, but softened, heavy with guilt older than empires. We tried. From the moon we launched drones, beams, salvage tech. Useless. They swatted them. Their system's a language we couldn't read. I saw my sister Kane leading rebels, her blade flashing till their shadow took her mind. I screamed her name, pounded consoles till my hands bled. But the Sentinel was a relic, not a weapon. We were ants raging at a boot. He paused, exhaling, the memory a weight he carried alone. Then it got worse. Aldus's voice was a rasp, urgent. Worse? What could? Gideon's fingers traced the desk, a slow ritual, his voice a whisper. The earth woke. Not poetry. Reality. The moon turned blood red, quaking, systems alive for the first time in eons. Consoles flared, glyphs like the cores, singing tongues we couldn't parse. Below, the planet shifted, land cracked, seas rose, mountains birthed in hours. A machine, as the Pleiadians said, a Rubik's Cube twisting to a new design. Atlantis sank, not in flood, but in will. Earth remaking itself to bury our light. Doggerland drowned. Göbekliy's stones toppled. Cities mapped in stars became graves. The Draconians didn't destroy. They harvested, then triggered the reset, leaving scraps to regrow. Kane's mind reeled. Sadie's artifacts, Doggerland, Göbekli, the core's runes, clicking into place, a puzzle too big to hold. They terraformed in the entire planet just like that? Sadie's voice was low, fierce. That's why the Piri race map, ice-free coasts, lost lands, it's their footprint. Gideon nodded, eyes haunted but resolute. Their power, Type 2, drawing from suns, bending worlds. They took what they wanted. Millions abducted, hooked to machines we glimpsed, their spirits drained till bodies crumbled. Those left, most died in the shift. Quakes, tides, ash skies. My team watched from orbit, helpless, as the Earth we knew became this one. Continents redrawn, our crystal spires dust. When the Draconians left, their ships fading like nightmares, we returned to a stranger's world. Kane rubbed his jaw, slums, cynicism warring with the story's pull. You came back. Why? To restart? Gideon's laugh was dry, a crack in stone. Restart? We had nothing. Engineers gone, libraries ash, people scattered, feral. I knew hoverbikes, Kane, like you. How to ride, not build them. Our knowledge was memory, not skill. We landed in what's now the Middle East. A dozen of us. Nanobots keeping us sharp, not gods. We vowed to rebuild, break the cycle, arm humanity for their return. But vows are cheap when you're starving. He paced, slow, deliberate, the room shrinking under his presence. We split my team. Half followed me. Science, progress, clawing back what we'd lost. We'd use tech, reason, rebuild faster, stronger, forge a humanity to stand. The others broke. Saw the harvest as judgment, sins, God's punishment. They turned to faith, stories, swearing we'd angered the stars. They wanted penance, not defiance. Over centuries, we became estranged. My faction pushing wheels, fire, circuits. Theirs weaving myths, temples, fear. Your history, pharaohs, crusades, ASIs, our war, in whispers. Aldus's eyes narrowed, voice low. The Templar Covenant. They're your enemies, aren't they? The faithful. Gideon's nod was grim. They'd call the core blasphemy, destroy it to keep us weak. And now, his gaze locked on Kane. Our cycle's nearly done. 26,000 years ticking down. Kane leaned forward, voice sharp, a scavenger's instinct kicking in. Hold up. You're Atlantean too, right? Why is it my blood the core wants? Why not yours? Gideon's eyes flickered. A rare hesitation, then steadied, his voice measured. A fair question. I was Atlantean, Kane. Flesh and soul like you. But the nanobots... He spread his hands, a faint shimmer crossing his skin. Invisible, but felt. They remade me. Every cell, every strand of DNA, copied and replaced with synthetic precision. My blood's a hybrid now, human in form, but not in essence. The core's tuned to the raw spark, the untouched fire of our kind. Mine's too altered. A machine's echo, not the key. Yours is pure, Kane, rare, unbroken, the lock it's waited for. Sadie's brow furrowed, voice cutting through. So Kane's a relic, like your ark? That's why you're so damn interested? Gideon's smile was faint, not unkind. He's more... Sadie... a chance. He turned to Kane, voice iron. I wasn't in the know at that time. Just a scholar, as I mentioned. The core's Atlantean and I can only speculate. But I believe it is a piece of something I've been searching for all these years. The ark we never finished. A key to Earth's systems or a weapon to burn their ships. My faction built Nova Reach, created Helix, to ready us. Tech, mines, steel. The Covenant would shatter it, keep us kneeling. I staged Earthward's hit to bind allies, give us a shot. The Draconians don't negotiate, they harvest. We're almost out of time. Kane stood, voice raw, defiance flaring. So I'm your weapon now? You frame murders, start wars, and we nod? I didn't sign up for slaughter. Sadie's eyes met his, fierce, a silent promise, while Aldus gripped his glass, voice low. He's right, Gideon. Blood for strategy? That's a line even you shouldn't cross. Gideon's eyes softened, but his voice was steel. You signed up to live, Kane. To know why the core chose you. You're not my weapon. You're my catalyst, the rogue I need. The Covenant's hunting you, Libra's drones too. Alone, you're dead. With me, you're a chance. Maybe humanity's last. Help me finish the arc, wake the Earth, break the cycle, or run, and let the stars eat us. Silence fell, the city's rhythm a faint pulse, Kane's mind a storm of slums and stars. Sadie's hand brushed his, grounding him. Aldus's gaze steady, a scholar's faith in truth over fear. He was no hero, just a scavenger. But Gideon's vow, defiance, not surrender, lit a fire he couldn't douse. All right, Kane said, voice low, steady. I'm in. But it goes sideways, Gideon. It's your blood, not mine. Gideon's smile was sharp, a chess master's nod. Fair enough. Rest now. Tomorrow you begin the hunt for the Ark, and the war we've got left. Kane turned, boots heavy, Sadie and Aldus rising with him, the city's neon a call to a fight he couldn't outrun. The core sang in his blood. Atlantis, a whisper. The Draconians, an ominous thundercloud. And he knew he'd face it. Not for Gideon, but for the spark he carried, the one that wouldn't break.